Hi guys, it's Crystal with Design Bundles. Today we're going to try out the EasySubli print and cut with the Cricut Explore 3. So let's go ahead and get started. When it comes to print and cut with your Cricut, sticker paper is not your only option. You have Siser Easy Subli, which is a printable HTV that is for sublimation printers. Now, you can definitely get printable HTV for your inkjet printers, but today we're going to be doing sublimation. Now, I've already brought this PNG over into Cricut Design Space. I'll have this link down below. The very first thing we need to do is size it down. So the biggest you can do with your print and cut with your Cricut is going to be 6.75 by 9.25. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is adjust that now, and then we're ready to make it. So this is what it's going to look like once you get to your mat. Now, when you're using Siser Easy Subli or a printable HTV, you do not need to mirror it. Normally we do with HTV, but not with your printable. So we want to make sure don't mirror, and then the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and hit continue. So now what we want to do is go ahead and send it to our printer first. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose your printer. If you really don't have to choose the specific printer that you're going to do, the main important thing is to turn on Use System Dialog. You guys see, and I turn that on down there. You're going to turn it on and hit Print. After this, you're going to go ahead and choose to save it as a PDF. And we're going to save it to our desktop. At this point, you can rename it if you would like, or you can just leave it untitled. But the important thing is you want to save it as a PDF and save it to your desktop. That way it's easy to be found. So I'm going to go ahead and name mine really quick just for something simple so I can find it easily. Now, if you have a specific folder that you want to create and save these, you can always save it to that folder instead of the desktop, but I find it a lot easier to find on my desktop. Now all we need to do is hit save, and then we're going to go ahead and head on over to our desktop so we can find our file. And you're just going to drop it into your Sawgrass Smart folder, which is automatically going to pop up your print manager. So at this point, you want to choose all the proper settings for your material. So you want to make sure you choose that it's Siser Easy Subli, and you want to choose whatever tray it's going to come out of and all of those things. And then you're just going to go ahead and hit print and send it over to your Sawgrass. Now that we've sent it over to our printer to be printed out, you're going to go ahead and come back into Cricut Design Space, and we are going to choose Iron On. You just need to choose Everyday Iron On for your printable vinyl, and it's going to work perfectly fine. All right, so the very next thing that we want to do is go ahead and take our printed design and take it over to our heat press. So what you want to do is slide it underneath your press. You're not going to close it, and you want to have it under there for around 60 seconds. This is going to help cure that ink and help it dry, so that way you're not going to smudge it or anything like that. So this is very important to make sure that you guys let it set under here for 1 minute. Once again, don't shut your press. All right, so next up, we're going to go ahead and load this on our Cricut mat. So as you can see, we've got our black border. This is what's going to help Cricut be able to read where it needs to cut. So we're going to go ahead and just load this right onto our mat and load it in our machine and load it up. So we're going to go ahead and let this Cricut do its thing, and we're going to hit go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and watch the Cricut kind of zoom through here. What I'm really loving about the Cricut Explore 3 is the speed. It's really, really fast, and I will tell you guys that the sound level has definitely went down, and I'm really, really loving it. I think it just works super well. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and unload it. I'm going to flip it over to easily peel this off, and now all we need to do is simply weed it. It's just like weeding any other HTV. You're just going to simply peel everything away. I still try to avoid touching any of the ink just in case it smudges. Now, little tip from me, if you guys do get any sort of smudges or ink on your paper here, you definitely want to remove it on that plastic because it may pick up on your carrier sheet. So to do this, all you need to do is just take a little wet, damp rag here. I'm using like a baby wipe, and you can wipe off any of that remaining ink because that will transfer over to your t-shirt. Now, you have two options here. If you have a bigger design, you can definitely just peel this off of this backing and lay it on your t-shirt. But because I've got several pieces, I'm going to use this carrier sheet. So Siser also provides carrier sheets that you can purchase as well. So I'm going to go ahead and rub this on here. You want to be able to burnish this very well to get it to adhere to this. And then we're just going to go ahead and remove that backing. Definitely make sure you remove this backing because it will melt to it. So it's just like any sort of other HTV. Now it's in the correct direction. So you can see why we didn't want to mirror it, because we're going to actually peel that backing off. That carrier sheet's just to help us be able to cut it with our machines. For today, I'm using this Next Level tank top. These are super cheap, like $2, and then I'm using a lint roller to remove any sort of lint. And now we're going to go ahead and line this up on our t-shirt just like we normally would with HTV. So let's go ahead and take this over to our heat press. We're going to do 310 for 15 seconds. So you don't need as long as you normally would or as high of a heat as you normally would with Siser Easy Subli for sublimation. We're going to go ahead and cover it with a parchment paper and close it, and we're going to go ahead and press it once again for that 15 seconds. You can definitely do this with your Cricut Easy Press if you would like as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove this, take it back over to the table, and we're just going to go ahead and remove our carrier sheet. So you guys can see how super cute this is. You guys could print whatever patterns or PNGs that you guys want to with this stuff and use cotton t-shirts. That's what's so exciting about Siser Easy Subli, is the fact that you can use cotton and not just poly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.